Bitcoin broke 36K, bull market's back, right? Well, there may be one last case for the bears. Welcome back to Crypto Rosetta. Joe here. Thank you all for tuning in. We're going to take a look at the charts and see what potential there is still to hit lower lows on Bitcoin. Is there any last hope for the bears? Now, if you're super bullish like the rest of the market, the majority sentiment out there, still stick around and watch this video to the end. If you want to troll, have a laugh, you may have completely different opinions, leave us a comment below. Likewise, if you're one of the minority people left in the market who remains bearish, you may be wondering what hope do we have. Well, we're going to take a look at the charts and see make the argument for the case of the bearish scenario that is left, in my opinion. So diving into the charts. Wyckoff distribution. Okay, I considered this a few weeks ago because I was confused on what pattern Bitcoin was playing out, because you guys know that I like chart patterns. Now, I initially thought that we were forming head and shoulders. That turned out to be wrong. And I also thought they were going to um, hold 32K, which is invalidated. Now, the reason I made that mistake, and I'm kind of a little bit annoyed at myself, I didn't notice this. I mentioned in previous videos the key trend line break and expecting a retest, and that retest to be around about 32K. Now, what I didn't realize is that I had the chart in regular scale. Now, once you put the chart into log scale, because when we had this pump a few days ago, what didn't make sense to me was, why is Bitcoin parked up there? Why is it broken to just over 36K around that area on different exchanges? It didn't really make sense. It wasn't really, a fib level target that I was looking at. I was expecting if it breaks, it would go even higher, or we'd continue higher now, which can still play out, of course. But where we seem to kind of reject and wick off didn't make sense. But it was only when I put the chart back into log scale that it made more sense, because that was actually where the retest would be from the key break. So I missed that. It's one of those, but now it's really interesting to analyze it when you reassess your charts, right? And it actually kind of lines up, because distribution, potentially you get 3 drives to a high, right? We had 1, 2, 3. Now I'll show that on the overlay now. You can see here 1, 2, 3. Now where it's got their UTAD, that's the up thrust after distribution. This tends to be a wick to the upside. Flip everyone back super bullish, get everybody back in the market who left. Now we're seeing a lot of interest and hype back in the market. Bitcoin's trending again on X. This is exactly how exit liquidity is created. This is exactly how whales are able to distribute, because they need somebody to come back in and sell the top two again. So this may be playing out. Now, again, you may think I'm crazy. You may think, oh, come on, just give it up. The bull market is back. But I'm just going to say, be careful of buying green candles again, because this can play out, right? So they create the distribution to sell back to retail, get them back in to sell the top two again. Now, I've mentioned 31K as a retest that I'm expecting. What I think will happen is that if we reject now and go back down to 31K, people who remain bullish won't panic, because they'll be naturally thinking, oh, okay, this is the pullback that I can even add. I can get in here. Okay, I've just bought it in at 34, 35K, but I'm going to buy more at 31K. I'm going to be great here, because off we go to 100K, right? Because all the moon boys are telling me on X that's what's going to happen, right? But what they don't realize is that that is now a key level which should be retested in the bearish scenario. Once that breaks, I think we'll head back down to a serious, sign of weakness, which will be the 25K. And once that breaks, then it almost looks like lower lows are programmed, in my opinion. We can go, into some serious free fall. That's exactly how distribution schematics play out. Now, can't tell you what's going to be the catalyst, but I'm certain that there's going to be some news as part of that catalyst. Just like I think a lot of the ETF news, a lot of BlackRock hype that you've been seeing all over X has created this move up in the first place. Now, we've seen the same accounts shouting all bear market, BlackRock this, BlackRock that, BlackRock's got this much money, and BlackRock's buying all this Bitcoin. But have you ever seen any proof of BlackRock buying any Bitcoin yet? Ask yourself why. Maybe some of these accounts are being paid to shill this narrative to create exit liquidity. Who knows? Am I being paranoid? Maybe you think, leave us a comment below. But just ask yourself, where's the evidence? Why have you not seen factual proof that BlackRock owns Bitcoin instead of it just being speculation. Because what's there to hide? If they own Bitcoin, just show you own Bitcoin, right? Like everybody else does. Just think about it. So, looking at the charts again, just wanted to again show you the overlay of the Wyckoff potential distribution. It matches up again. Look, one, two, you go to the final up thrust high, and then we potentially head down. So it's a key moment. I'm not saying that I'm not going to hang on to this forever. We're going to see. It's going to be key moments. I'm expecting a rejection very soon. Now there is the last chance. Of a bear scenario that nobody wants, and that's we're going to have a very, very quick look at this one because I don't really think this is going to play out. Maybe this is hopium that this doesn't play out because bull or bear, we're all wrecked if this happens. But the other potential scenario is the big, horrible ABC that nobody wants, where everybody thinks we're in a bull market, and we are sort of in a bull market, but it's just a big, nasty B wave playing out over multi years where we don't actually go to new all time highs and then we go to lower lows. Now, I don't think this is going to happen on Bitcoin, guys, but that sort of potential, I do think can happen on altcoins. I do think there's a whole host of altcoins that aren't going to go to new all-time highs. I really don't think so. Even if Bitcoin goes to 100K in a new bull market, I just think that there's going to be a lot of altcoins that are going to, disappoint. We've seen similar things happen with XRP in the last bull market. Didn't set a new all-time high. Now I know. Okay, it's easy to make a case why because the SEC case, whatever. But I still think there's going to be a whole host of altcoins that aren't going to, reach new all-time highs. So, if you're looking to get a 10, 20x off certain altcoins, you can get that without them going to all-time highs. So just have that in the back of your mind. Also, now just a few more charts I wanted to look at. BNB talking about catalysts, what could cause more downside in the market. BNB chart looks horrible to me, guys. It really does. I've got no reason to be bullish on this chart at the moment until we get back above $270. The bulls need to claim that. We keep hearing that all funds are safe as on Binance. We keep seeing all the tweets. The price action is showing us wise. We're seeing bearish divergence in the RSI. Again, it really looks ugly. It's one of the worst looking altcoin charts that I can see out there. And I am expecting much lower targets. Minimum target, really, I put on X a few months ago was 150, but I'm actually thinking it's going to be lower now. This 135 is going to be a key level to hold, but I'm expecting that to break. Under $100, BNB is going to look really ugly. Under $45, it's going to be dead, in my opinion. So that is the last line of defense. But let's see how this plays out. This could take weeks to play out. This could be a flash crash if there's some major problems with the exchange. We've seen another executive leave Binance yesterday. Again, how many executives have been leaving? All over the previous weeks. Why is this happening? If everything's great at Binance, why are executives leaving? Again, just ask yourself this. Even if you're super bullish out there, just consider what is going on in the rest of the world. Don't just consider a few green candles on low time frames, guys. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so speaking about the rest of the world, Dow Jones. Okay, currently it's literally about break even for the year. If we're in a bull market, why is the Dow Jones, not up on here? Again, ask yourself that. We put in another lower high, in my opinion. We've set a lower low, and we are potentially looking at breaking down to another low currently. We're literally just hanging on. The markets have just opened at time of recording. We're barely holding on to the psychological level of 33K. Dow Jones has opened up negative 0.2% at the moment. The NASDAQ I'm seeing on my screen at the minute is down 1.5%. That looks horrible. Google getting absolutely smashed in after hours on earnings. So again, not looking great on traditional markets. We are heading down. Why do you think crypto's been outperforming traditional markets in the last few weeks? Again, for me, it's all been part of the major manipulation that's going on because there's less involvement. It's easier for the whales to manipulate the crypto market. Obviously, you can't manipulate the traditional markets. The traditional markets are telling the real story. So personally, I think crypto charts are lying, if you like. And I think Dow Jones is the real story of what is going on out there economically. We've seen a rally, we've got the rally in the summer, and we are heading back down in this multi-year bear market for a lower wave, in my opinion. It looks like these charts are playing out. It's very hard to argue otherwise. So again, S&P flashing a huge warning. I've talked about it. We broke out the ascending channel. We haven't set new all-time highs, and it looks like we are heading down in a downwards channel now. So huge warning or bear trap. I'm still leaning to huge warning. S&P is falling literally at time of recording, almost down a percentage point right now, heading to another lower low, in my opinion, since we've started this local downtrend. Again, people will be bullish out there saying, oh, it's all part of a correction. However, when the bounce coming, it doesn't look like a bounce is coming to me. If this was still bullish, I would have expected a bounce to have already been reached. Again, heading down, next target, 4,134-ish region I've got marked up here. It's really important for anyone still bullish on the SP 500 and for the rest of Q4. Once that breaks, guys, I think the start of 2024 is going to look pretty brutal going into the new year. Now, correlating our opinions, DXY looking strong. DXY up 0.2 on the day. But not been doing a huge amount the last few days, but I said we're looking for consolidation. We're looking for consolidation above the 105.50, and that is exactly what it's doing right now. 106.4, time of recording, should be going sideways. We've seen over here back in December 21, you got a sideways period, up it goes. Then March 22, sideways, up it goes. It looks like it's playing out again to me. Target of 120 remains. Is going to be horrific for risk assets, including crypto, especially once we break this 107.9 range. Once that breaks, I think everything else is going to the downside, in my opinion. Now, altcoins still going to the downside. I still think there's huge risk. Again, I've said if you're dollar cost averaging out there, I totally understand why you're buying the lows. That's fine. Don't buy the green candles. At least buy the red candles if that's your plan, because you're not sure when the bottom's coming in on these altcoins. A lot of people thinking surely they can't go any lower when they've gone down so much, but the risk to the downside, in my opinion, is still 50-60%. It could be a lot worse. Some altcoins may go extinct in this market if things go very ugly. I've talked about having an altcoin extinction event potentially. I still think that is not completely off the table here. So going back to Bitcoin dominance, why am I showing it? The main reason is because what I want to make you aware of. We've seen Bitcoin dominance continuing to rise. This is an extremely bullish looking chart to me once it broke out of the accumulation range down the bottom, and it's looking very bullish. I'm still not going to be shocked if Bitcoin dominance continues up to 60%. Now, a lot of people out there will be thinking, well, obviously Bitcoin dominance is going up because Bitcoin price is going up. But what I will say is we expect a pullback on Bitcoin now or shortly, yet this chart continues to rise. Ask yourself, if this goes up when Bitcoin's going down, what's that going to be saying about altcoins? Think about it, guys. So I'm not expecting Bitcoin dominance to like pull back heavily here if the Bitcoin price drops. I think if the Bitcoin price dropping, I think altcoins are just going to drop even harder. So yes, Bitcoin dominance going up with Bitcoin price going up, but if this continues up when the price is going down, these altcoins are going to continue to get wrecked. I really do think that that is going to happen. I'm not seeing any signs. There's nothing in the charts that are telling me that some altcoin season is coming. Like you're seeing a lot of the big moon boy accounts on X or on YouTube telling you altcoin season just around the corner, guys. We're seeing little pumps, little 10%, 20%, maybe 30, 40% little pumps when on a lot of these coins, they're 95% down. And when you're getting little 10%, 20% pumps, zoom the hell out. It's not gonna show you that there's any signs to be super bullish when you zoom out on those charts. So again, appreciate you've got to buy at some stage at dollar cost averaging, but for me, cash is king. Why not? If you're got a strategy of being a little bit more risk adverse, you can still make great gains, but wait for confirmation in these markets. Right now, guys, leave us a comment below if you think I'm completely wrong, but I think it's still too much of a heavy gamble to be going heavy into altcoins now. You get all the usual comments about, safe money don't make money, or sorry, scared money don't make money. They say you've got to take a risk, take a gamble, but that's easy done, in a risk on environment, like when the money printer was on after COVID, 2020, early 2021. That was a risk on environment. I think we are in a risk off environment now. Look what's going on economically. Real estate is going down. Chinese markets, Japanese markets, US markets, European markets, everything is in trouble at the moment, not reaching previous all time highs, rolling over. These are key moments. Why are things rolling over now? Look at mortgages. Mortgages are continuing to rise. US 30-year mortgages are now over 8.25%. Retail, average people, food prices rising. Where's the cash coming to buy these altcoins? Or is there no liquidity? Or is all that the whales can do now is just lift them up a little bit on low time frames to just scrape a bit more to sell, and then further get out? That's how I think things are playing out. Again, please leave comments if you've got some different opinions. Thank you all. See you again.